Hi everyone, it's Saturday Stories with Miss Sharon. Happy Saturday. Last week we read a story in our Spark Story Bible about Jesus healing a blind man named Bartimaeus. And this week we are continuing to learn about more miracles. In today's story, Jesus meets someone who is paralyzed. Have you ever known or seen a person who is paralyzed? Being paralyzed means you can't move some or all of your body. A person who is completely paralyzed would need help with many things, especially moving from place to place. In today's story, Jesus was teaching in a house that was full of people who had come from every village in Galilee and Judea and from Jerusalem to hear him. And then something a little unusual happened. Let's listen and find out what happened in this story called Four Friends. Jesus met many sick people when he was traveling from place to place. In one town, Jesus was in someone's house teaching people about God. Other people in the town had heard that Jesus was a healer, and they were very excited when they found out that he was nearby. 4 of the townspeople had a friend who was paralyzed. The 4 friends knew that if they could just get their sick friend to Jesus, he would be healed. They carried their friend on a stretcher and tried to bring him into the house, but it was so crowded they couldn't get through the door. "What should we do?" asked one friend. "Maybe we should just give up and go home," another one said sadly. "No, I have an idea," said the third. "Let's take our friend up on the roof. Then we can cut a hole in the roof and lower him in." "Let's try it," said the fourth friend. So they all climbed up on the house and they cut a hole in the roof. Using rope, they slowly and gently lowered their friend into the room where Jesus was teaching. All of the people in the room were surprised to see a man being lowered from the roof, except for Jesus. Jesus knew the man was paralyzed. Jesus also knew that sin hurts people more than sickness. So Jesus did an unusual thing. Jesus said to the man, "Friend, your sins are forgiven." The people in the room were confused and angry. They thought nobody could forgive sins except God. They didn't know that Jesus was God's Son. "Don't be angry," Jesus told them. "I am God's Son, and God has given me the power to forgive sins." But again, the people were confused and surprised. They didn't know if Jesus was telling the truth. "I am telling the truth," Jesus said, "and I can prove that I'm God's Son." He turned to the paralyzed man and said, "Friend, stand up." The man stood up. He had been healed. Now the people were amazed. The healed man thanked Jesus and carried his stretcher home with the 4 friends. Many people believed that Jesus was God's Son, and they praised God that very day. They knew that if they or their friends ever had a need, Jesus would be there to heal them, to forgive their sins, and to love them. Oh my goodness. Would you have liked to be in the house when the man was lowered through the roof? That must have been a crazy sight. But then, to see the man just walk out on his own 2 legs, that really must have been something. For the last few weeks, we've talked about how faith is believing without seeing. And in this story, those 4 friends were full of faith, and they acted on behalf of their paralyzed friend. And without them, he wouldn't have been able to see Jesus that day. He certainly couldn't have pushed his way through the crowd, and no way could he have climbed up on the roof. The paralyzed friend shows amazing faith and trust by letting them take him up to the roof and then lower him down. In Luke 5, verse 26, it said, "All of the people were beside themselves with wonder. They were filled with awe. They glorified God, saying, 'We have seen unimaginable things today.'" And so they did. Talk with your family today about some amazing things that you can thank God for. And don't forget, you can read more about this exciting miracle in the book of Luke in the New Testament in your family's Bible. I'll see you next week.